Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Coaster News. And as always, we've got some amazing news from different theme parks, rides, attractions and events all over the world. So let's just get straight into the news today. Our top story for tonight, Alton Towers Oktoberfest has officially started. And obviously, we've been waiting all summer for this event to return for Alton Towers this September. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically Alton Towers Oktoberfest is a event at Alton Towers that was originally introduced back in 2020. Obviously, as you can imagine, it is themed to the Bavarian event from Germany called Oktoberfest, the festival that's held in Germany every year. And it was introduced back in 2020 and it was a huge success. So they've been bringing back the event every year since, and this is actually the third ever Oktoberfest. And it looks absolutely incredible. Obviously, last year, and I imagine this year as well, they've given it quite a few expansions, such as loads of new entertainment offerings and obviously different foods. And they've got live stages on the lawn and in Mutiny Bay. And they really focus on the entertainment at Oktoberfest. It's absolutely brilliant. They've really captured the German festival really well. And it's an absolutely brilliant event. Obviously, it was first introduced back in 2020. Obviously, that was the same year that the COVID pandemic started, so there were a few restrictions, but it came back in 2021, bigger and better than it was before. It was brilliant when it was first introduced in 2020, but it made it even better last year. And I'd imagine they made it a lot better this year. There's actually going to be a vlog coming out within the next few days about from Oktoberfest. At Alton Towers, so stay tuned for that. I think it's going to come on Sunday, hopefully. And it's obviously an absolutely brilliant event, and this is the third season in a row that the event has taken place. But what I really think is quite an issue is because between Oktoberfest and their previous event for this year, Mardi Gras, there's like a 6-month gap. 6 months between, or is it 3 months? 3-month gap between Mardi Gras and Oktoberfest. Obviously, but other than that, they have like events pretty much every month. So Fort Parker, obviously bearing in mind Fort Parker have a shorter season, they've got Mardi Gras, Carnival, Oktoberfest and Fright Nights. They literally have at least one event every month. And obviously, Alton Towers, they had Festival of Thrills in April, which lasted until May. Then Mardi Gras started later that month, and that finished in June, and there was the massive 3-month gap between Mardi Gras and Oktoberfest. I do feel like next year Alton Towers should introduce a new event to fill in that gap, because it's 3 months without an event. Obviously, we've had the Ultimate Summer of Fun that's been brought back for this year. That's kind of a smaller event at the park where you can like win different prizes and whatnot. But it's not really like a major event like Oktoberfest or Scarefest or anything like that. It's absolutely brilliant that they've brought back this classic event. It's pretty much a classic event now. It's been brought back multiple times over the past couple of years, and it's been absolutely brilliant. Obviously, I think in 2020, if there wasn't any COVID restrictions, or if COVID just didn't exist at all in that year, it probably could have gone differently. But obviously, it was the event since then has just been getting better and better. I imagine it's gotten a lot better this year. Obviously, the opening day for the event was on Saturday, the 10th of September, and the event is going to run until I think it's like the 2nd of October. I think, I could be wrong. Sometime in early October, just before Scarefest starts. And obviously, if you are going to go to Alton Towers within the next few weeks, I highly recommend checking out Oktoberfest this year. Obviously, they've got live entertainment and obviously loads of different food offerings, and the park is open until 7 o'clock at night, or is it 8 o'clock? Sometime around that. I think it's like open until 7 at night. I mean, obviously, because they've got extended hours. And it's absolutely a brilliant event. And like I said earlier, there's going to be a vlog from Oktoberfest coming out this weekend. So do stay tuned for that. And I cannot wait to experience the event for the third time and see how it's expanded since last year. And obviously, the event looks to have expanded a lot more this year. And I cannot wait to experience Alton Towers Oktoberfest when I go there this weekend. In other news today, the roller coaster at World of Jumanji in Chessington World of Adventures has officially gone vertical. And this is a huge milestone for the attraction and for Chessington overall. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to explain. Basically, the World of Jumanji is a brand new themed land coming to Chessington World of Adventures in 2023. It's going to consist of 3 new attractions. It's going to have 2 children's flat rides, which at the time of recording we don't know what those flat rides are, but they look to be very interesting. But the main attraction of the area, like I said, the whole area is going to be themed to the film Jumanji. And it's going to be absolutely brilliant. But the main attraction of that area is going to be a brand new roller coaster. The first roller coaster at Chessington World of Adventures in 19 years. By the time this opens, it will be 19 years since their last roller coaster, which was Dragon's Fury. And obviously, this one will be, because Merlin liked building world's first, this will be the world's first B&M launched shuttle wing coaster. That is quite a mouthful. Basically, it's going to be like a B&M wing coaster, like the Swarm at Thorpe Park. So it's going to be the first B&M coaster in the UK in 11 years by the time this opens. And it's going to have multiple launches, including various multi-pass launches where it goes through the track forwards and backwards. It's going to be a shuttle coaster, meaning it's not a complete circuit layout. And it's meaning that the first launch is actually going to be backwards. It's also going to have inversions as well, which is a first for Chessington, because they normally build tame, family-oriented rides without inversions. So this is interesting for them. But obviously, the way the layout of this ride is going to work is you're going to start at a station, launch backwards, you're going to drop down into a beyond vertical spike, which is just next to the Jaguar Shrine, which at the time of recording this has been nearly completed, very nearly completed. They've pretty much done most of the rock work on that statue. And then you're going to go back down the vertical spike into the second launch, which goes through the station, into a turn, which then goes into a 0G roll, which is the only inversion on the ride. Then you do a turn to the left and then an S-bend. Then you go through the third launch, which then takes you up into a helix, which takes you around the Jaguar Shrine. And you're going to go up to the highest point of the ride, and then you're going to stop and go backwards through the whole layout again. And then the ride will be finished. So obviously it's a first for Chessington. It's the world's first, it's the first shuttle coaster built by B&M. Obviously it's one of their only launch coasters. I'm pretty sure the only other launch coasters by B&M are the Incredible Hulk at Universal's Islands of Adventure, Thunderbird at Holiday World, and Decepticoaster at Universal Beijing. This will be their 4th launch coaster, which is obviously, it might be their 5th one as well, because they're currently constructing a B&M surf coaster at SeaWorld Orlando, which is going to be a stand-up coaster with launchers. Depending on when it opens, it will probably be their 4th or 5th launch coaster. So obviously it's very exciting times for B&M and Chessington overall, and recently the supports for the new coaster actually arrived on site, and earlier this week they started placing the first of those supports, which is going to be one of the supports holding up the 0G roll, which actually goes over the entrance portal for the area. It's going to be a heavily themed area, because Merlin Magic Making really do like to do lots of heavy theming, and it looks absolutely brilliant area, and I cannot wait for it to open. It's still on schedule to open in 2023. As far as I'm aware at the moment, the track hasn't arrived yet, but the support columns have. The colour scheme for the ride is going to have brown support columns and green track. Obviously the supports have started going into place. All the footers were completed quite a couple of months ago by this point. I was actually at Chessington when they were pretty much finished all the footers and pretty much started the rock work on the Jaguar statue. It's absolutely brilliant what they're doing, and I cannot wait to hopefully one day return to Chessington to experience World of Jumanji for myself, and it's going to be absolutely exciting. Also in the news today, and this is some more news about Alton Towers, Hex has finally reopened. And this is obviously absolutely brilliant news, and it hasn't like it was a few months ago, where it opened for a day and a half and it closed again. It has fully reopened, and we've heard that all the issues have been definitely fully fixed. on the ride, and it's running smoothly and perfectly fine as it should. And this is obviously absolutely brilliant news from the park. And obviously, it's actually, I'm pretty sure it's, as I speak, it is still open right now. So there's no sign it's going to break down again. This is absolutely brilliant. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Hex, The Legend of the Towers, is a Vekoma Madhouse dark ride that opened in the year 2000 at Alton Towers. It is themed around a local legend of the chained oak tree, which is in 1821 the 15th Earl of Shrewsbury basically got cursed by a witch, and basically the curse was for any branch that fell off the old oak tree, a member of the Earl's family would die. And that same night there was a lightning storm, and a lightning bolt struck one of the branches of the tree, and somehow one of the Earl's family members had died that same night. So not long after, the Earl actually chained up all the branches on the tree to stop them from falling off. That's pretty much the main sort of story of the ride. But the actual ride itself is an extra fictional part of the ride. It's the Alton Towers Island themselves, where the Earl took the fallen branch back to the towers and tried to experiment on it to break the curse. That's the actual story of the ride. All of that, apart from the one where the Earl experiments on the branch, is apparently a real story, because the chained oak tree is real. It's not far from Alton Towers, actually. And obviously, it's been opened in the year 2000. It was a very successful ride, and it's been operating perfectly fine. Apart from earlier this year, where at the start of the season, it was open for, like, on opening day, it was open for, I believe it was open for a few days, and it's been closed. It was closed for about 3 months, or a few months. It opened for about a day and a half, but they hadn't really fixed the issues on the ride, so it closed again. And it's been closed since, apart from earlier this week where it actually reopens. And that is absolutely brilliant news. This means that next time we go to Alton Towers, we will actually be able to go on Hex. And that is actually brilliant. I've actually missed this ride so much. The fact that it's managed to reopen is brilliant. I actually thought it was going to be closed all season, which is worrying. But the weird thing is, long before it even reopened, Alton Towers actually listed it as one of the rides that's going to open during the Christmas event this year. So they were definitely trying to reopen it, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to open it for Christmas, which would have been really bad if they couldn't open it for Christmas, or during the main season for that matter. But it's a good thing that the ride has definitely finally reopened, and I cannot wait to get back on one of the best dark rides ever. And finally in the news today, Walt Disney World have confirmed that Tron Lightcycle Run will open in spring 2023. Now, we were kind of expecting this news for basically all year, ever since last year, I think, actually, where basically, if you know what I'm talking about, Tron Lightcycle Run is a brand new roller coaster opening at Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World. It is a Vekoma booster bike coaster, and it's going to be a near clone of Tron Lightcycle Power Run at Shanghai Disneyland. It's being built in the Tomorrowland area, just next to Space Mountain. And the ride has actually been under construction for nearly 5 years now. It's been under construction since like February 2018, I think. So it's been under construction a long time. Obviously, the COVID pandemic didn't really help. That's kind of one of the main reasons it got delayed. It was supposed to open last year for the start of the 50th anniversary, but obviously, because of COVID and obviously all the parks were closed for like 3 months during the start of the first lockdown, construction was delayed, meaning that they couldn't actually build any of it. So that as well, they're basically both their coasters and most of their new attractions. In fact, I think all of their new attractions were delayed until either 2022, or were completely postponed. Obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind opened earlier this year in May or April, I think. And obviously, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure actually managed to open in 2021 on the 50th anniversary on the 1st of October. The Harmonious Fireworks Show started on the same day as well. So obviously those were probably the only few attractions that actually successfully opened on the 50th anniversary. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind was delayed to 2022. The Mary Poppins attraction, I'm pretty sure, has been shelved temporarily. There's no sign of that opening. Same with the Spaceship Earth refurbishment. That's not going to happen anytime soon. Other than that, I'm pretty sure one of the only other attractions they are currently building is Tron Lightcycle Run. We all kind of suspected that that was going to be delayed until next year because construction has been going pretty slow this year. Obviously, I believe a few months ago or weeks ago, something like that, it started testing. A few weeks ago, they started testing with human riders, which is a huge achievement. And they even started testing some of the lighting effects on the canopy of the attraction, and it looks absolutely brilliant what they've done. But the construction is still got a long way to go. They've got to build out queue lines and the pathways of the attraction and the rest of the theming. I have no idea what state the inside of the building is like, but I'd imagine that's probably finished. But I cannot wait for this ride to officially open. The 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. The celebrations, I believe, end in March 2023. So, and they said they want to open this roller coaster in spring 2023. So fingers crossed they can get it open by then. So yeah, that is it for this week's episode of Coaster News. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, then please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment we'd like to see in the next video. Bye!